It's noon Eastern Standard Time, and we are the POP Baking Club. And on Saturdays, I just come on and we do a little question and answer, and we talk. I do office hours. And this morning, so we are waiting to see Chef Jacquy Pfeiffer join us for an interview this morning, this afternoon, and it's evening. He is in France. It's bonsoir to Chef Jacquy. So as soon as we see him, we'll invite him to the chat. I am inviting Chef Jacquy Pfeiffer to join us today. Oh, invite. Sorry, Chef. Invitation sent. Okay, I sent it 5 times. I apologize. There we are. Hello, Chef.
You cannot see me, right?
No, we can't.
Is this normal? There you go. Is that better? Save. There you go.
There you are. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Good. Good.
It's so good to see you. Maybe I'll shut my door. Hold on. It's a little breezy and a little loud. There we go. Okay. Now the wind's coming through the window. Sorry. Always technical difficulties.
Is that true?
Yes, I always have technical difficulties. Do you?
What? Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that some people are not even aware of what's going on because I did post it as a story, as you saw. Do you want to introduce yourself, or do you want me to do my version of it?
I can introduce myself. I'm Jacquy Pfeiffer. I've been in pastry for this year is 49 years, and I traveled around the world baking and working in different hotels and properties, and ended up in Chicago, and eventually opening the French Pastry School in Chicago that I ran for 25 plus years. And now I am semi-retired in the south of France.
Nice. Well, thank you. Can I add to that so people can know how I know you so well?
Sure, yeah.
This is your book from 2014. The Art of French Pastry, and it is as if you've gone to the school. Everything that you need is in this book, and I recommend it quite often here.
Thank you.
So you wrote that book. I attended the French Pastry School. There you are. That's me at graduation with you and
nice.
Chef Sebastian. And then finally, the way that I found you was through Kings of Pastry.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I became familiar with the French Pastry School. I'm so happy to have you here because, you know, first and foremost, you are a teacher and a very good teacher. And I've used your book for years, but I took the time to read through the introduction and everything. And so I got to know a little bit more about you. And I think that you consider yourself a teacher, and I would agree with you 1,000%. I have an audience that is comprised of home bakers, cottage industry bakers, people who work in the industry, but are oftentimes looking for connection to the greater industry and to being able to build their boat full of people and tools that will help them get better. Mentors, teachers, people that they work for, but oftentimes it's hard for them to know if they haven't been brought through a training program. Can you give people advice on how in this day and age they can connect to good information and grow their skills and have a real career and or be really successful in their endeavors?
Yeah, to have a real career, it's important to get real education, and that goes for any field. You know, it's all nice and dandy to be self-taught, but if you self-taught, you as you know, Kathleen, you get some information, but you don't know if it's good information or just, you know, information from somebody on social media or whatnot. So it's important to go to a good institution, and it can be online, it can be a brick and mortar. It doesn't matter, but the quality of the education is absolutely crucial. You know, I always say to people who want to go to college, they visit the college and like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. There's a swimming pool, there's this and that. I'm like, who cares about that? Who are your teachers, and what is this college specialize in? Is it reputable? And so on. And that goes for culinary schools and culinary education as a whole. You have to see where the teacher comes from. You have to see where the book comes from, because every day there's a new book out there. So it's relatively easy to write a book, but at the end of the day, do the recipes work? Do you get good explanations? I love the way you explain your recipes, Kathleen, because you really go down and dirty into all the details of a recipe, which is it takes time. It's a lot of work. I can see all the prep work behind your work.
Thank you.
It's a lot because I do a little bit of posting here and there, but it's the way you do it. It's real work, and but at the end of the day, it's quality education. It's thorough. You don't leave any stone unturned. That's the kind of education one should be looking for, and it could be from a book, could be from social media, could be from a brick and mortar or online institution. It doesn't matter. You just have to feel that this is good for you. Everybody learns a different way, as you know. I taught for 25 years, and in each class we had 18 students, and those are 18 different ways of learning for people. Some people are more visual, some people want it written, and so on. So a good teacher has to be. I always say a good teacher has to be able to teach the student who has the most difficulties.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And with that said, a lot of people ask me, how do you know when there's a red flag in a recipe? There's a proliferation of social media, bakers who don't have the understanding, ingredient function and whatnot, but also AI has brought a whole new glitch into the system. So when people are reading recipes or when they're analyzing and looking for something to do, how can they use some critical thinking to find a recipe that might work or is giving signals that it's well developed?
Yeah, AI is just gathering information from the internet, and it's a sum of this information. But AI has never boiled an egg in its life and never will. So I don't mind technology, but as you and I know, the proof is in the pudding, and AI will not hold your hand like you do, or like I did in my book, and really explain why this recipe works, why it doesn't work, and what is the red flag. It's not a red flag, like critical parts of the recipe. Each recipe has critical parts where you really have to slow down and pay attention. Unfortunately, pastry is all in the details, and some people say, "Oh, pastry is not for me," and their hands go up, and that's nonsense, because I taught for 25 years, and it did not matter who was in the classroom. We said anybody can be taught if you slow down, pay attention, force yourself to follow a procedure. A lot of people like to wing it, and that does not work in pastry. Sorry. Does
No, it
not
doesn't.
work in pastry. I repeat it. All those shows where those TV shows where people do not scale the ingredients, those competition shows, they are all made up, because it's just not possible to just throw ingredients together and then make an incredible cake or whatever it is. Every once in a while, every like 10 years or so, I just feel frisky, and I try to make a recipe like this, and every time I fail, and
It's good to hear, because I don't have the urge to do that. And sometimes I feel like it makes me less creative.
yes.
But then I think I don't need to do it. I don't need to waste ingredients.
Creativity comes first with the control of your technique. You know, all the musicians who are incredibly creative, they first learn how to play their instrument like for many, many years. And then suddenly they come up with, I don't know, a tune, I don't know. And everybody's like, oh my God, this is incredible. Yeah, but what about the 30 years I've been practicing the violin or the guitar? It's the same thing in pastry. You just have to, and it's actually not complicated. The key of pastry is to repeat, repeat, repeat. It's all about muscle memory and making something, following a recipe, and then if it fails, it's actually a blessing, you know. I mean, I love failure because I'm like, oh, okay, then it makes me think, what happened, right? Because I'm a very, very curious person, and I try new recipes almost every day because I just cannot stop. And sometimes I just fall flat on my nose, and then I'm like, okay, so what happened? And then sometimes I don't have the answer right away. I have to sleep on it. And guess what? The next day I'm like, that's it.
Aha.
Yeah, aha, exactly. So it's all about learning from failure, and then making the recipe again with new adjustments, and repeat the technique. Then you're starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And at the end, you realize it's complicated, but it's not that complicated.
Well, I think people get overwhelmed by the amount of information. And honestly, what I recommend people do is take a book like yours, start in the beginning, read the introduction, the technology section. And your book, really, you could go one through to the next. I mean, it's comprehensive with drawings, ingredient function explanation, all the explanations. But even more, when you get into who you dedicated the book to, which it was an aha for me because I love Sherry Yard. I have loved Sherry Yard forever, long before I got into baking. And I have both of her books here. And I love that she does family trees with recipes, you start with a ganache and it's a family tree. And so when you mention Sherry Yard, someone should go look Sherry Yard up. Or if you mention somebody, they should go look them up and stick with one book and maybe work your way through it, learn, and then move to Sherry's books and stick with those. That's sort of to calm the chaos. I think that can be helpful.
Yes, and all chefs, they go to the same place, which means the finished cake, but they all use a different path. Okay, all the what's the expression? All the roads lead to Rome. Is that the expression? Something like that. I don't know.
It sounds good.
But each chef has a certain way of thinking. That's what makes it interesting. So just to follow up on what you were saying, take one book and then make the recipes in this book and then absorb the mindset of this chef. Then after that, if you want to, you can grab another book, Sherry's book, let's say, and then make her recipes. And then after a while, you will start to put two and two together. You're like, wait a minute. He did this, she did that. It's the same idea, but a different way. And then people realize that actually a lot of the recipes are interconnected. They techniques just reappear in another recipe. And then once you start to make this connection, you're like, oh yeah, that's what we did for this recipe. And then it gets easier and easier, but it takes some time. It takes repetition, but it's absolutely wonderful. I was telling my wife today, I posted something that I created in my dream. It's a kind of like if a tarte tropézienne, which is a brioche and vanilla cream, would marry chocolate concha, and then So I created this product today that I posted today,
I saw the video. It's beautiful.
and then but tomorrow I'm gonna show how I made that daisy top. It came in my dream, and sometimes I can catch an idea in my sleep, and then I can actually make it. What if I make it like this, like that? And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I have it in my head. Now let's see if it works on the field. And so I told her after 49 years, I am still so passionate about creating things because it's never ending. You can never say, oh, pastry, I got it. I know everything about pastry. That's, you and I,
agree with you.
we just scratched the surface. That's it.
I mean, I know nothing still. I'm learning every day. I learn so much. Another thing that viewers ask often about are ingredients because, first of all, there are a lot of social media tricks and hacks for swapping out ingredients, replacing things sort of willy-nilly. And also, people live all over the world. So obviously, in some areas of the world, it's hard to get certain dairy. Wheat is different everywhere. So how can you advise people when they look at a recipe, as a consumer, when they go to the store, how to pick out those ingredients and make a rational, informed swap or make a decision if they can't get hold of something?
Yeah, I learned this. I learned this not the hard way, but the hard way for me is the best way. I mean, for me, I have a person that I know here. Her son cannot eat lactose, cannot eat gluten, and God knows what else. And then she ordered some Yule logs for Christmas. It was 5 different Yule logs, so 5 different flavors and 5 different Yule logs because she was going to 5 different parties, and it had to be lactose free. Gluten free and certain nut. And
Oh boy.
yeah, it was like she made me suffer, but at the end of the day, it was an incredible learning experience. I made it work. But what I recommend is, let's say, if you're looking at changing a milk for a vegan milk, you need to go with the basics. If your regular milk is 3.5% fat, whole milk, right? You need to find a milk that has the same amount of fat, right? That's a minimum. If you exchange it for a milk that has 1% fat or 0% fat, you're asking for trouble. You might as well put water. Same for vegan butter. I tried different butters here, and you need to find a butter that has 82% fat. That's how it is.
Right.
If you exchange it for a vegan butter that has 60% fat, you get in trouble, right? You get in trouble. And then with flours, you need to find a good, let's say, if you're looking for a gluten-free flour, you need to look for one that works well, that gets good reviews. The King Arthur gluten-free flour works well. At the end, you can make your own, but it's very complicated because each flour. I'm still working on a gluten-free pizza, and that's just for fun. It's not even because we are gluten intolerant. It's just a challenge I did for myself, and I make it every week. And every week I tweak one ingredient only. You can never when you try to experiment recipes like this, you can never change 2 ingredients because let's say there's an improvement, you have no way of knowing if it's the rice flour that you increased or the potato starch that you decreased. So you can, unfortunately, it's like research, you can do only one change at a time. Again, fascinating to me because sometimes it comes out good, sometimes not. So dairy product wise, try to find dairy products that are close in fat that what the recipe calls for. And then when it comes to flour, make your own maybe, but nowadays there is some very decent gluten-free flours that work well and that will save you a lot of time and a lot of crying.
I tell people to read labels because the answer is usually in the label. You can
Yes.
see if you're
Yes.
confused. Yeah.
Yes.
You are on TikTok. I want everybody to know, and I follow you, and I love your videos.
Thank
They're
you.
both inspiring. You also give the recipes, which is great in writing. And I actually will do a screenshot and then print them like this. This was really pretty. I really like this recipe. What do you like about doing TikToks, and what do you find most challenging? Because I find the editing just to be so time consuming. I wish
my
I didn't
God.
have to do
Yeah,
it.
and I'm 64 years old, so you asking a 64-year-old. I never, when I moved here to France, I never created a video on my own, and so it was a learning curve. But again, I'm a curious person, and I that's my dog drinking. It's very loud. I had to learn how to edit things and this and that, and what TikTok likes or what Instagram likes, and this one has to be done like this and like that. It's time consuming, like you say. It's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, it's a new challenge for me. So I always welcome a new challenge. Now that I'm not suffering so much editing those videos, it's better, and I'm glad people like them, because all I do is I share recipes that I make that day. It could
They
be
feel
anything.
very fresh.
Could be anything. Suddenly, tomorrow I'm going to a flea market. I might find an old kitchen tool, and then I'm gonna make a recipe in there, and then see what happens. So
I love your tool videos. I mean, I'm always trying to guess what it is before you say what it is.
To me it's fascinating to do the research, and then not only to do the research of what it is, but then actually use it, like in the old days. And I mean, in the old days, they were having a hard time. I visited, the neighbor showed me his grandfather's house. We went up there. It was they were living in their grandfather. They were living in there in the 1800s. It was. I mean, it was so humid in this place. On the second floor there was a clay floor. Who puts clay as a floor on the second floor? You could smell the humidity. There was some kind of a bed, some kind of mattress against the wall. It was like so humid. I'm like, how could people? And then the kitchen looked like, I don't know. It's like, nowadays you would not let an animal live like this. And but at that time they were making pastries, obviously in professional kitchens better than that, but they had very, very very simple tools and stuff, and they made it work. So for me that's fascinating to try to go back in time and see what it felt like to do this at that time.
I love that. And you're also a grower. Are you in the Alsace region?
No.
Is that where are
I'm
you in the
Southwest.
world?
I lived in the Alsace region. I love it. I really love it. But it's kind of like gray. It's a little too gray for me.
Much like Chicago.
Yes, exactly. So I lived 25 years in Alsace. So that's a lot of gray weather. And then I lived 31 years in Chicago. So that's 56 years. So I said to myself, if I retire, I'm gonna go somewhere where the weather is better. So I'm in the southwest of France, near Toulouse, where the weather is really fantastic, and so things grow. I mean, we have 2 acres of land, and then we planted fruit trees, different fruit trees, whatever we can find, we planted just to see if it works. It's never about the production of fruit. That's not what it's about. It's just to learn something new. We planted a guava tree this year, a mango tree, a pecan tree we planted last year. It's just to see how it will grow, and because I was stuck in the kitchen for 50 years and never had the chance to do that, you see. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
I mean, you are living a dream life, and I mean, I know what it's like when you're working in the kitchen, and I know a lot of pastry chefs that really find it hard to be creative and find the time even to work on new recipes and things because they're busy working. So now you're able to just let your imagination run free. And if you have an idea, you can actually make it happen.
Yes, yes, yes. I go outside, I find an herb. I'm like, what is this? I research it. And then I'm like, then I look at recipes that can be made with this herb, and then I do it. And that's something I had never done before. And at night when I go to bed, I'm like, I learned something new. And now I'm connected to nature, which is fantastic because again, stuck in the kitchen for so long, you don't see much of nature, especially if the weather is bad.
You know, someone asked me on my last live if you had taught me, and I didn't think I had, but I went through my notes and you didn't teach a class of mine. I took from Chef Sebastian, Chef Enming Su, and Chef Patrice and rotated with them the entire time. Obviously, I've seen you demo quite often, but
You were
I
there
don't
in
think I ever had a
2007, 2006, 2007?
2014.
14, yeah. Yeah, by then I became Dean of Education, and they stuck me into an office. And yes, exactly. All I wanted is to be in the kitchen with you guys. But
Yes.
like, no,
Well, you did. You stopped one day and you gave, and I had been a cake decorator, but I specialized in sugar flour. So I just knew how to do a really nice coat and then a good quick border and write a little. Anyway, I was piping and you walked past and you gave me just the most brief tutorial and I improved like instantly.
Yeah.
I came with the learning mindset. I know nothing. I am here to learn. And in 5 minutes, I improved just with a quick little thing that you did for me. So, I mean, I was a little sad I didn't get to have you as a teacher, but I had wonderful instructors.
I always say to people who want to learn, pay attention to the old timers. Pay attention to what they say and what they show you, because they have been around the block for so long. And if they stop what they're doing to show you something, pay attention because it's very valuable. I just connected with a guy who lives about 4 minutes away. He's an old timer, and he's an expert gardener. So we became friends. I'm gonna try to become his apprentice. But we went to see his garden. It's like it looks fake. It was so organized and perfect. And so, but every time he comes by, he looks at something. He's like, those lemon trees, you need to put them away from the sun. Or he comes and he's, okay, now you need to put them back in the sun because now it's close to September. Every time he gives me advice, and in the beginning, I'm like, whatever. He is right every single time. Why? Because he has been gardening for 50 plus years. So I might as well listen to him instead of me trying to do my own thing, right?
Yes.
And that's something I want to say to the people who want to do their own thing. It's fantastic to do your own thing, great. But before you do your own thing, learn how to walk before you run, because otherwise you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna have a lot of failure. So learn first, and once you grab onto this technique and to this knowledge, then you can have fun and do your own thing, but not the other way around.
I'll tell you, anytime I began to lose faith and felt really dragged down by people saying, no one does this and you don't have to do this, and I would come to French Pastry for a tour or hear you or somebody speak to Ideal and what we're working for, and it would give me the energy to go back and fight the good fight again.
Oh yeah. It's, but when you're a teacher, it's like that. You have students in the classrooms, and they all have different ideas of what they think pastry should be, and then you have to guide each one of them differently so they get it. That's really what you need to get as a student, is to get what the institution is trying to teach you, and also to gain confidence, because recipes are everywhere. So those those you can find in books and whatever videos. But
Well, I will show this again. It's a beautiful cover and it really
thank
look
you.
how thick it is, everyone.
Woo.
And I was saying, when I was at French Pastry School, my husband got in a car accident. You remember that?
Yes, yes, yes.
And I had to leave for a week, so I never got
Yes.
to do the kugel off. And then when I
Oh.
came back for the makeup, we didn't do it.
Oh.
So I've never done it. So I'm going to open this book and I'm going to
go.
make this.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Students have to learn and then gain confidence, because that's what I noticed as a teacher for so long. Once you can instill the confidence in a student, then they can run with it. You see, then they're like, oh yeah, I get it. And then they can go and fly with their own wings. And that's really and you do that with your videos. You explain things so well that a person who is following that recipe has to be able to understand how to do it, has to be able to say, yes, I feel confident, I will make that recipe. After that, mistakes happen all the time, and that's the nature of the game. But confidence is so important in life, you know.
It is. And you talk about patience in the book as well, just being patient with the recipe and knowing that you have to take every step. It's not just about the end, it's about the getting there, it's the process.
Yes, and for me, I have zero patience because I've been baking for so long. In my head, I tell myself the ingredients have to do what I ask them to do. And if the butter should be soft and my butter is cold, I'm like, come on. We've been together for so long, and no, you cannot do that. If the recipe says the butter has to be soft, guess what? The butter has to be soft. Keep it simple, right? Don't be stubborn and say no, it's fine. This is nonsense. The butter has to be soft, and if it's soft, it will mix very well with the other ingredients. That's how it works. See,
And
it's
if you
simple.
ask somebody, what do you think went wrong? They'll tell you, well, I didn't do this and that. And I'm like, well, there's your answer. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about or let
No.
people know what you're doing
I
or
mean,
what you're up to?
I think we covered a lot of ground, and I don't want to take all the time in your life because I know you have a lot of other things to cover. But I saw some people asking where you can find the book. It's on Amazon, so that's easy to find, and they can read the reviews on Amazon.
Oh, they're good. Do you even have a 1-star, 2 or 3 star? They've got to all be 4 and 5, and I don't even know why someone gave it a 4. Now
No,
I'm curious. I'm gonna go look.
Don't look.
Who are these people?
Find it on Amazon, and then after that, read the book from first. Do the first few recipes. This is what I advise people to do, so they can get confident to do more involved recipes.
Yeah, you did it in a certain order, so
Yes,
that makes a lot
yes,
of sense.
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the Kings of Pastry, I don't tell people much of anything or how it ends or anything, but if you want a nail biter, a real suspense movie, it really is a really good movie.
Yeah, and plus it's a documentary. It's about a pastry competition. Let's keep it like that. But it is not a film. It's not made up. It's a documentary. So what you see is what happened. I invite people to watch it because it's fun. It's a nail biter. It's a good way to see a grown man cry, but
It's
no,
wonderful.
it's a good show, I have to say,
Well, I am thrilled to be able to see you in person. I haven't seen you in probably 5
You're
years.
gonna have to come and visit one of these days, okay?
I would, don't even, because I'll let you know I'm coming.
Okay, it's fine. We have lots of room.
Wonderful.
Okay, we'll
Oh,
bake
wonderful.
together. We'll do
I
a
would love
live
to. Are you
baking
kidding?
event. Okay?
I'll be there next month.
All
The
right.
weather's good in the fall, I hear.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But no, I really appreciate it. You're just, you know how I feel.
Thank you. Yes,
And
I do.
I'm very appreciative that you came. It's a feather in my cap to have you here.
Thank
And
you.
I hope to show people the best side of this industry, the best side of what really you want to aspire to be and how to think. And really, rather than talking about what's bad about certain things, I'd rather just offer what's really good.
Yeah.
And you are. So I appreciate you doing this more than you will ever know.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening. Bonsoir.
You too. Have a great day, huh, everybody?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Oh my gosh. I mean, I was so nervous, but I'm so glad. Yes, I want to go to France now. Oh, that was just great. I mean, he's so wonderful. He won a James Beard for this book. His book won in 2014. And this is the book where he wrote this note to me to come to the French Pastry School. Dear Kathleen, come to the French Pastry School now. Make it work. Jacquy Pfeiffer, 12/3/13. If you want to learn more and really work your way through a book, I recommend this book so much. I'm very, very, very happy to see that he is living his best life. I knew he was, and I had a feeling, but he looks great and he looks relaxed. And bonsoir, merci, yes, chef. I was so nervous. I'm so glad I did it. And he is very nice. And he talks a little bit in the book about he had a rough apprenticeship. I mean, a lot of chefs are really mean. And when he started the French Pastry School, they had challenging students. I went there. I saw what happened. You know, the kitchens are busy, crazy places. And they were very, very professional and very patient and kind, no matter what happened. And go follow Chef Jacquy, and he obviously is not only going to give you recipes, but you're just going to learn a lot and be inspired. And I really like a combination of inspiration and technicality. I don't want to just be inspired because a lot of times it's lacking on the technical stuff, but I don't like just technical. So the French pastry program was designed because in the United States, we don't have a mentor apprentice, master apprentice system like they have the baking guilds and whatnot in France. So they basically did it like that in the United States, and they did it at the highest levels. I don't know how to say it without being crass, but that interview is money. Everything he said is what you will learn in your first orientation week at the French Pastry School. Like if you were to go to a pastry program, worth its salt, worth the money. And my French pastry experience was worth every penny. I got everything, every job opportunity, everything. And when I went there, I found my people. And I think that this community is finding your people. You have found your people. If you want to level up, if you want to know more, and if you want to critically think, critically thinking like an ingredient is not for everybody. But for those of you who want to, we are here. I am here for you. And we are here to build a community where we talk in a language that is as old as time, is very, very powerful. And it's Chef Jacquy Pfeiffer, known for many, many things. An amazing, internationally acclaimed pastry chef and a very kind and generous person. I was really happy to see he's doing so well. Well, I had a wonderful time. As usual, the POPers are on point. This is the best baking club in the world. Woo! Every Saturday, I have office hours as a teacher. I just am here to help you be better bakers. And maybe I'll try to come up with another interview if you all like that next week. And if I can't find anybody, then I'll keep trying. So that's what we're doing. I had such a good time at FPS. Time of my life. Time of my life. Worth every penny. Where's that picture? Oh my gosh. There I am. Chef Jacquy, Chef Sebastian, these guys have known each other forever. Yeah, that was good. That was a good night too. Graduation night. I was very happy. I was like 1% away from with honors, and I didn't get the special rolling pin. Still upset about it. This is just beyond my wildest dreams. It's amazing, and I want all of you to know that none of it would be happening if you weren't engaging. I can't just teach to nobody. So it's been really, really great. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go eat. Take care.